What's up, y'all? It's Rhonda here. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with a new video. This video is going to be different from any video that I've done on my channel, and so I hope that you guys like it. I hope that it's helpful. I'm doing this video because I've made some changes over the last few months, and you guys have noticed, and when I say changes, I mean in my body. You guys have noticed on Instagram, you've noticed here even on YouTube in some of my latest videos. So I've had people ask questions about, like, Rhonda, what are you doing? We see that you're losing weight, and I talked about it in a previous video that I did. So I figured, why not make a video and just give you guys some tips that I did and that I am doing to lose weight and to just get to a better space in terms of health and wellness. I think that's so important, especially right now. We're in the middle of this pandemic, and I'm not gonna front, y'all. The pandemic kind of scared me straight a little bit. I was already on like a weight loss journey anyway, but going through the pandemic and just everything going on with, you know, people getting sick and people dying, and just, you know, doctors and people saying what you need to do in order not to get sick. And I am like super hypochondriac when it comes to that kind of stuff. And so for me, that really kind of helped kick me into gear. I was already on a weight loss journey before that. You guys know I mentioned in a previous video that I was on Weight Watchers. And so I had already started that journey, but I decided to up my game even more during the pandemic. Number one, I had time. You know, life kind of stopped for the last few months. And so I decided, you know, I'm going to take this time. We may not have time like this ever again in my lifetime. So I figured I would take this time and do that. And then it was something that was just important to me. So that gives you a little bit of reason why I decided to go on this weight loss wellness journey, just to a healthier me and the best version of me. And so I wanted to share some really quick, easy tips. As of today, you guys, I have lost 46 pounds. And so I figured, why not share that? You know, why not share what it takes? Because I know a lot of us too, being on quarantine, some of us have gained quarantine pounds. So if you're trying to get some of those pounds off, then I hope that these tips help. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. That was like the longest intro ever, but I had to kind of put it out there, and I wanted to just really express what I was thinking and how I was feeling. But if this is your first time here, my name is Rhonda. I generally create style content on my channel. So this is different for my channel, but make sure you subscribe if you like stuff like this. If y'all like this kind of video, let me know in the comment section. That would be super helpful. I will continue to make videos like this, or videos that are not necessarily about fashion, but just about lifestyle. If you guys are, if you enjoy this type of content, I know I do. I like watching this stuff on YouTube. So if it's interesting, if you guys like it, let me know in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into my 7 easy tips that I've used to shred some pounds. So I have my notes here so that I don't forget anything. Boom. So the first thing that I want to say before I get into these tips, I'm not a doctor. Consult your doctor before you start any diet plans or any type of changes in your eating. I'm not a doctor, so, you know, this is what works for me. So I just want to put that out there. It may not work for everyone, but it's what works for me, and or what is working for me. So I want to make sure that I definitely put that disclaimer out there. Check with your doctor first before you start any type of wellness plan or anything like that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the 7 tips. So number one is something that I started doing recently within the last maybe month. And that is, every morning I have about 14 to 16 ounces of warm water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Okay. Before that, I was putting it like in my big gallon of water that I drink throughout the day. But I decided to start putting it in my warm water. I actually started working out with a trainer within the last 3 weeks now. And, you know, that's something that he recommended that I do. So it's been about 3 weeks since I've been doing it that way. Putting it in warm water first thing in the morning before I drink anything. That's the first thing that I do. And I've noticed that, to me, it feels like it's really good with like digestion. It kind of gets your system going in the morning. It will make you go to the bathroom So just make sure that you know that. Now it doesn't, okay, this might be a lot of information, but it doesn't give me like diarrhea or anything like that, but it does make you go to the bathroom. So it gets you going, it gets your system going, and it really does feel good going down in your system. You can kind of feel it kind of jolt your system in the morning, in a real easy type of way. And I've been doing that, like I said, for like 3 weeks now. I am loving that. And I think honestly with apple cider vinegar, and I'm talking organic, unfiltered, Bragg's with the mother, like organic apple cider vinegar. It works really, really well. And I think it's really good, even if you're putting it in your cold water during the day, you know, I'm sure that's fine too, but I love it in my warm water in the morning. I use my electric tea kettle. I turn it on for a few, maybe 30 seconds just to let it get warm. Don't let it get too hot. Let it get warm. I pour it in my mug and I just throw it back. I just kind of throw it back, and then I'm good for the day with my apple cider vinegar. So that's tip number 1. It's something so comforting about it. And I have to have it every morning. That's before I drink anything. That's the first thing that I have first thing in the morning. My second tip, number 2, I have increased my water intake. I am drinking a gallon of water now, and that just works so well for your system because it really it sends you to the bathroom. Obviously you're going to the bathroom a lot during the day, but it's really getting all of those impurities out of your body. It's continuing to flush your body again, especially right now going through the pandemic, and just keeping your systems really clean and filtered as much as possible. Drinking that gallon of water, it really does work. Is it hard? It can be hard if you're not a water drinker. Squeeze a lemon in it to give it a different flavor if you need to. I'm okay with drinking water. I've always been a water drinker. That's never really been an issue for me. But the amount, I wasn't doing quite that much. But now I've really stepped up my game. I've been drinking a gallon of water now for, I mean, it's been months now. That's something that I really started to incorporate when I started incorporating exercise into my diet or into my day, because I just needed it. It was so hot outside working out, and I'll get to that shortly. But the gallon of water, I just fill up my big gallon, or I buy the big gallons from like Whole Foods or like Publix or whatever, and I just drink one a day. And I have been sticking to spring water because it's supposed to be better for you. So spring water, a gallon every single day. And I try to get my gallon done before, if I can, before like 7, because if you drink too late, you'll be going to the bathroom all night long. But I really, once I drink the apple cider in the morning, I'm backing it up with a big cup of water. And I have my mason jars. I love drinking. I looked over there because my water is right there. I love drinking out of mason jars. It just makes it fun to drink. So I poured in my mason jar from my gallon and put my little straw. I got some metal straws. I'm fancy now. So I put my metal straw in there and I just drink it. And it's really good for staying hydrated during the workday as well. And so yeah, a gallon of water, get it done. And in addition to a gallon of water, I also drink hot tea during the day, so that can also count towards your water intake, as long as your tea is just the tea itself and not a lot of additives and stuff. Like for my hot tea, I'm only doing the tea bag, which is generally green tea and lemon. And in addition to the tea, I also drink tea after every meal. That's just like an extra what I'm throwing in there. After every meal, I drink a glass of green tea with lemon squeezed in it. It's so good for helping with digestion, and it's become like a habit. So after breakfast, after lunch, and then after dinner at night. The third tip, you guys, I have started eating more whole foods. When I say whole foods, I'm talking about lean meats and vegetables. Those have been like my go-to. It's just more filling, it's better for you, it's not processed, everything is fresh, and it's just good for the body. And so that's been a big change for me. Now before, when I was on Weight Watchers, I haven't been counting on Weight Watchers in a while. It's been a few weeks, probably about 2 months now. I haven't really been counting. I still use my app because I like to go in there and like get different recipes and just like, you know, see how many points something has, or you know, because that gives me judgment as to if it's something that I need to eat. But since I really haven't been counting my points as much, I'm not gonna even lie about that, I have just gone to eating more whole foods, and that's ground turkey, that's salmon, white fish like cod. I love cod, sea bass, even shellfish. You have your shrimp. I love scallops, all that stuff. I've been eating a lot more of that, and chicken breast. Love vegetables. I'm loving spinach. I'm loving spinach in the morning in my egg white omelet. So good. Loving spinach, loving Brussels sprouts, broccoli. What else am I loving? Kale. Yeah, I am loving those vegetables because first of all, they're all easy to prepare. Oh, and asparagus. They're all easy to prepare. They pair really well with lean meat. They're all good for you. They have a ton of vitamins and a ton of fiber. Fiber is good for weight loss as well because it's gonna shift everything out. Everything that's going in, it's going out. It's just food filled with fiber is good for your digestive system. My fourth tip is one that I just recently started doing, y'all, and that's meal prepping. Meal prep has been a lifesaver. I sort of was meal prepping before COVID earlier in the year, but it was really now I'm meal prepping all of my meals. The only meal I don't meal prep is my breakfast because with the job that I have, I am able to work from home most days out of the week, so I can prepare my meals at home. So I do like a hot, fresh breakfast. But lunch and dinner, recently dinner, meal prepping those because lunch, if you don't pack your lunch or if you don't have meal prep lunch, it's gonna go left. Because I know for me, sometimes I don't think about preparing food until I get hungry, and then by that time it's too late. Technically you're too hungry once you're hungry. So I started prepping lunch, and it's so good because number one, my food is already ready, so I don't graze, I don't snack. And then number two, I'm making a healthy decision with what I'm eating versus making a split decision and making a bad decision. Tip number 5. So I have really paid attention to my portion sizes. Pay attention to your portion sizes. Portion size is key to the weight loss because now, even if it's healthy, it can still be too much. Like for example, I love salmon. Like salmon is my thing. I can eat salmon like every day. And not only could I eat salmon every day, I can eat a piece probably as big as my head, okay, because I love salmon that much, but it's too much. So what I've done is I am now weighing my food, and generally, you guys, that whole saying that your meat should be the size of the palm of your hand, that is true, because now that I'm measuring my meat, I'm doing about 4 to 5 ounces of meat. It's usually like the size of my hand, like for real, which is crazy. So I've been doing that, and even with my vegetables, because I like a lot of vegetables. Like I like a lot. So my bowl, and I'm all for like filling up a bowl with like a bunch of vegetables, but I've still been even mindful of how much I'm eating just so that I am keeping control and not losing control. And my meat's small, my vegetables are kind of small, but what I'm learning is it's satisfying my body. So I've had to start looking at food differently, and I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I've had to look at food differently, and you have to look at it as nourishment for your body and not like something to do, like a hobby or like, you know, something to pass the time. In those moments, I've had to say, okay, Rhonda, you have to think of something else to do. Like you don't need to graze while you're working, or you don't need to, you know, just because you're watching TV, you don't have to snack while you watch TV. So, you know, that was an adjustment, but I've gotten used to it now. It was really hard in the beginning, but again, it's all about discipline. Food and eating is discipline. Tip number 6 is exercise, fitness. So initially when I started my whole weight loss process, I was not working out, because I had to kind of take small chunks, right? So I started with the food first, because what they say, food is like 80-90% of the work, right? So I started with food first, and once the pandemic kicked in and we were restricted to stay home, like we couldn't go anywhere other than the grocery store, I needed an outlet. We couldn't go to the grocery store. We couldn't go to dinner. You weren't seeing family. Everything was shut down. No travel. Nothing was happening. I was literally about to lose my mind. So for me, I started exercising as an outlet. I started exercising as a way to have something to do other than just working. I needed something to physically exert energy, right? Because at this point we're working from home. Nobody's going in the office. It's shut down. So to physically exert my body and move my body, I had to start exercising. Like it just is what it is. And I'm so glad that I did that, because it started out as just walking around my neighborhood. Just walking around my neighborhood. I walk around like 4 times, walk around my complex, and my complex is pretty big. So I want to say it's like a mile around, like one time around. And I walk around like 4 times. And at first it was like a leisure stroll, you know, just kind of going back and forth. And then I was like, you know, Rhonda, you like this. This feels good. Like the sun is shining. It feels good. Your body loves it. You get a little tan because nobody's going to the beach. Well, I wasn't once, you know, we weren't going to the beach then. So being outdoors, getting that vitamin D, escaping the inside just did something for my psyche. I started to really become more consistent with walking and working out. So I started walking, and I was walking about 4 days a week. And then I started adding in like strength training of my own. So I went on Amazon and I ordered resistance bands for my thighs and like arm bands and stuff like that. That way I could do some other stuff, like some strength training, because now I'm in my head, I'm like, you're already walking around it. And my walking became super high intensity. I started jogging. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's up this another notch. Let's get some resistance bands. I wanted dumbbells, but seems like the world was sold out of dumbbells, so I never got any. So I just used my resistance band, used my own body weight, and just started really getting that sweat. Y'all, that sweat felt so good. And then I started to see my body really change. And I said, you know what? This my body likes. Here in Atlanta, we were continuing to get a ton of sunshine and heat. So I was so glad because I couldn't take that and dark weather. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna take advantage of this nice weather. I'm gonna go outside. Now, over the last 3 weeks, I've hired a trainer because I'm ready to step it up another notch and just really get to my goal. So I hired him. It's been going really good. I actually enjoy the gym. The gym is really lit, y'all. And then I've been enjoying the benefit. Like, it is so hard, but it is so beneficial, and you get in that zone, and next thing you know, you have done things. I have done things that I did not know my body was capable of doing. And my trainer's like, Rhonda, you are doing this. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, like, wow, this is what you're capable of doing. So building that endurance, building that focus, because that fitness stuff will have you focused. It will have you focus. The last tip that I want to share with you guys is a mindset shift. That's number 7. Tip number 7. Shifting the mindset, y'all. That's probably the hardest thing, because you've been so used to the same regimen, right? I know for me, I've been used to the same regimen for so long, and really having that mindset shift, it was hard. It took a lot of discipline. It took a lot of prayer. It took a lot of focus. And it took too of me really tapping into my village and my friends and people around me who are all doing the same thing. A lot of my really close friends, my best friends, we're all doing this together. So it's a group of us, and it's really empowering to be in a space to where you are surrounded by people who are pushing to live a healthy lifestyle just like you. And that's what I've noticed for me is super beneficial. And that's something that I don't take for granted. I take a walk. Me and my best friend, we walk every week. We go to the Beltline here in Atlanta every week, and we walk together. And we are constantly discussing what we're eating over the phone and having these conversations about, you know, how are we feeling today? You know, self-care stuff. You know what I mean? Because self-care really is beyond that surface level stuff. It's way beyond that. For me, self-care is what I put in my body, what I'm exposing myself to, sunlight, being outdoors, being in environments that just that strengthen me, being in environments that motivate me, that are pretty, that I love to see, and that are aspirational and inspirational. That's all a part of self-care as well. And so shifting that mindset and knowing that this is for a good cause, this is beyond the physical appearance. Yes, that's the benefit of it, but it's beyond that. It's about discipline. It's about treating your body well. It's about making yourself strong. These are the thoughts that are in my head. Making myself strong, making myself the best version of Rhonda humanly possible. And so it really starts in the mind. And I would tell you guys, cutting sugar really low, because even now I'm not even drinking wine. I haven't drunk wine in probably about maybe 3.5 weeks. That was a shift for me, because even when I was on Weight Watchers, I could still drink wine, but I've just decided to just put a pause on wine right now, and just for the sake of just trying to not consume so much sugar. So I may have a glass of wine, but it may be like once every, I don't know, a few weeks or something. And so but just having that mind shift, knowing that I have a goal, and knowing the end goal. Knowing the end goal is so important, and I think a lot of times we don't think about that. We're thinking about the struggle in that moment, but if you focus on the end goal, that helps your mindset. It really does. So just figure out the goals. It can be a health goal. It can be a superficial, it can be what you want it to be. If it's you want to fit inside a certain size clothes, that's fine. If it's that you want to fix some pre-existing conditions that you have, or some medical difficulties that you're having, all of that stuff, let that be your motivation. Don't let anyone tell you what should motivate you to become a healthier version of yourself. That is absolutely nobody else's business but yours. So it doesn't matter why. It does not matter why. And when people see you doing this, they may get a little threatened, you know, they may, because they don't understand, or they may not see that for themselves. But if this is something that you want to do it for yourself. Do it for the reason that you want to do it for. Don't let anybody tell you what that reason should be. So tip number 7, shift your mindset. It helps. It helps so much. So much. So y'all, those are the changes, some easy changes that I've made to really lose the weight. They were easy. These things are not that hard. They sound hard, you guys, but it's really not. I always say start small. Don't try to take a big chunk out of it and do it all at one time. Don't try to start eating healthy and then next thing you know, you're trying to run 5 miles the same day. It's not, you can't do it that way, because you won't stick with it. This journey has been for me since the beginning of this year, and just taking those small steps, it has really helped. So I hope that this video has helped you guys. If you guys want more content like this, let me know. I am willing to do like a what I eat in a day. I can do that like vlog style if you guys want to see something like that. If you guys want to see recipes, I'll be honest with you, my food is very simple right now, but I do use a lot of like herbs and spices and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Oh, any fitness videos, let me know. I am on my journey, so I still have a ways to go, because I do have a goal in my head that I want to meet. And so I am right in the middle of my journey. So I'm definitely down for taking you guys along with me. Make sure you guys are following me on Instagram. I'm sharing all of my food there. I think my Instagram followers, when you guys see my stories, y'all know that you know what has been consuming my life the past few months, and so you know it's been health, wellness, because I've been sharing a lot of it on my stories. And so I just want to be transparent. That's what I'm doing. You know, that's what's happening in my life. So why not just share it with y'all? So if you guys are interested in that, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Everything that I'm wearing in this video too, y'all, I will have linked below. My makeup, my lip color, my earrings. My earrings are so pretty. I love them. They are from my soror, has her own accessory line, and these are from her line. I'll link those. I'll link these below as well. Check her out, Black owned business. And she has some beautiful pieces, especially if you like statement pieces like this. So I'll link that below. I'll link my top below or something similar. Below in the comments or in the description box, so make sure you guys check that out. Don't forget to thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and let me know any other videos, even outside of lifestyle videos. Let me know what you guys want to see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see y'all next time.